Hey, 117 students, this is an overview of writing messages, writing correspondence for the medical office. This PowerPoint can be found on Blackboard, and you also have it on your USB stick. It was copied from the first day of class. So the whole idea behind writing for the medical office or for any office is to keep your writing brief. It's audience-oriented, it's purposeful, it's economical, which means using the fewest amount of words possible, but getting your point across. And in order to learn how to write like that, you actually do need some good sample documents, which you'll be getting, a writing process, which I'll be providing for you, and practice. So when you attempt to do your written correspondence for the medical office project, it's going to be rough in the beginning, and you'll send me a copy of it, and I'll most likely edit it quite a bit. Please don't be offended by that. I'm just trying to help you write in a very concise manner. It's called direct writing or front loading. So when you're writing, you want to try to involve your reader. Try and include the you attitude. So instead of saying an example like this, we are promoting a new hospitalization plan that we believe has many outstanding benefits, reword it and say, you will appreciate our affordable hospitalization plan that meets all of your needs. So always trying to focus on the reader here. Here's another quick example. Tell the reader what you can do. Using conversational language, instead of trying to use big fancy words like the undersigned takes pleasure in, just say, I'm happy to. There's another example. First side is, the left side is very wordy. The revised version, we've credited your account for $250. Okay, again, involving the you attitude also means striving to have a positive language or a positive attitude. So the you attitude plus a positive message. Again, tell the reader what they can do rather than what they cannot do. There's basically 3 different levels of language usage: unprofessional, conversational, and formal. We're always going to strive for the conversational language. Ooh, hidden messages. These are one of my favorites. When you're sending out email messages or writing letters to patients, vendors, clients, never use things like you overlooked. The hidden meaning is you're careless. Or you claim that, it pretty much means that it's not true, calling the person a liar, and, well, you're wrong means I'm right. You forgot to, you're not only inefficient, but stupid and careless. So be careful of your hidden languages. Okay. Inclusive language. You want to try to avoid any kind of sexist terms. You want to avoid his or her as much as possible. It's kind of wordy. It draws attention to itself. I'm going to use plain language rather than something that we refer to as federalese. Lawyers often will use federalese. All right, we are going to be using the front-loading direct writing strategy for about 90% of our written correspondence for the project. The advantages are listed right there. And it's useful when the receiver is receptive to the idea, or that's not really anything that they need additional education on, or the message is just kind of routine in nature. Indirect strategy is great when you have to convey a message that might be sensitive in nature, or when you need to persuade the reader, or when the reader might be either hostile or upset. Effective sentences obviously are written grammatically correct. Complete sentences have subjects and verbs, and they make sense. We don't have dangling modifiers or sentence fragments. That's probably one of the most common things that I see. There's an example of a fragment and a revision. Run-ons are also fairly common. Again, there's an example of a run-on and how it can be easily changed. Comma splices, another real common thing that I see. So good examples here, and also how to revise it. Okay, as you're writing, Be careful with some of the mechanics that you use, meaning underlining, bolding, italics, all caps. All caps, I hate that. If you guys send me a message with all caps, I think you're yelling at me. Dashes, that captures attention. That's actually a format that I use quite a bit. And tabulations or bullets are great if you want to list items individually. Makes it nice and easy to read. Okay, ideas to emphasize and de-emphasize subjects. And active and passive. Active voice verbs are used for most of our written correspondence for the medical office. It shows the subject performing an action, and it's used in most business writing. There's some good examples. Passive voice verbs, that has absolutely nothing to do with the past tense. It simply draws attention away from the subject, and usually helper verbs are used. And there's some good examples there. It's great for breaking bad news. One of your assignments in the Written Correspondence Project will require you to break bad news to staff members. Parallelism. Basically, it means using verbs with verbs, nouns with nouns, ing endings with ing endings. Dangling modifiers, misplaced modifiers, and examples of both. Okay, to help guide the reader or listener from one thought to another, develop coherence by using one of these devices, repeat the key idea or key words, or possibly use a pronoun. It's a great way to make a transition. Okay, and that is the end. Whoops, let's go back here. That is the end of our overview of writing for the medical office.